Have you ever heard of a national park disaster so bizarre? The emergency kit includes industrial sedatives and the threat of nuclear force. Today, we're diving into the infamous Mystery Flesh Pit National Park disaster, the timeline, the chaos, and the eerie aftermath.
It's one of those stories that's almost too surreal to believe. Imagine a July 4th celebration going horribly, biologically wrong. I'm here as your guide through the gut-wrenching sequence of events, and you'll walk away today with a haunting new definition of park safety.
We'll walk through the disaster as it unfolded, the domino effect of system failures, the desperate rescue attempts, and the aftermath that reads like a fever dream. Plus, we'll spotlight the human stories and scientific weirdness hiding in the details.
So stick with us as we break down how a rainstorm, a living landscape, and a cascade of technical mishaps turned the holiday into a national nightmare, ready for the timeline that shook the park to its core.
Let's set the scene. It's July 4th, and unseasonably high rains forced the park to cancel their big holiday event. Not a great start, and tensions are already running high with disappointed visitors.
That's when the first cracks start to show, literally and figuratively. With the park staying open late as a consolation, the control room discovers a relay fault. It sounds minor, but it's really the first domino. One electrical hiccup, and suddenly rainwater is pouring inside the organism's sand gullet.
And when the emergency pumps fail first, the main, then the backup, it's a nightmare scenario. Technicians scramble, but the sand gullet's nearly underwater by the time they arrive. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck.
There's this chilling detail too. The PA system, set to shut off at 8, leaves guests in the dark, literally. A blackout hits, panic spreads, and the organism itself starts to react to the chaos building inside.
What gets me is how fast things spiral. The organism's choke response kicks in, infrastructure starts tearing apart, and the lower visitor center is literally wrenched off its foundation. Guests are panicking. Elevators stall. Tunnels collapse. Total mayhem.
And then the real horror starts. The fail-safe triggers a massive aconitine injection to sedate the massive creature, but the side effects are catastrophic. Kaima, basically, its stomach acid erupting in geysers. Guests trapped or trying to escape get caught up in this acid flood.
It's almost cinematic vehicles trying to escape, get sucked back in, others crushed. Meanwhile, tremors are so intense they're felt miles away, and even the Pentagon is put on alert for possible nuclear intervention. The park is now a war zone.
People sometimes forget this wasn't just a technical malfunction. It was a living, breathing disaster with its own survival instincts, making every second more unpredictable.
That actually reminds me, amidst the chaos, some truly heart-stopping rescue attempts unfold. Rangers and staff try to save people from collapsed tunnels and stranded elevators, even as the park's internal structure is collapsing around them.
Right after the organism's convulsions start to subside, response teams head in. What they find is grim. Many visitors didn't survive the Kaima eruption or are mortally wounded. And then you have those bizarre moments. Vehicles crushed, communications severed, and people inexplicably drawn back into the pit.
And let's not forget the aftermath. Inter-pit life forms, giant, unknown creatures emerge in the chaos, injuring and even hunting fleeing guests. Park staff have to fight them off before helicopters and field hospitals can even begin to help.
It's like every layer of the disaster revealed a new horror, from biological threats to psychological ones. Even as rescue efforts ramp up, the pit itself remains unpredictable and deadly.
Once the immediate danger passes, the scale of destruction becomes clear: catastrophic infrastructure loss, mutated hazards, and ongoing biological threats. Emergency teams try to stabilize things, but the organism's biology keeps throwing curveballs.
That's what's truly unsettling damage. Surveys reveal the park's internal landscape is now way more hazardous. Then there are stories of survivors wandering back to the pit, almost as if something is calling them. None are ever recovered.
Meanwhile, leadership scrambles. FEMA is brought in, containment task forces are launched, and even mineral components of critical systems risk collapse. The media descends, and the world starts to grasp just how otherworldly this disaster was.
It's a haunting legacy one that raises as many questions as it answers. Was this truly a natural disaster, or the price of pushing the limits of science and nature together? The aftermath lingers, both in the landscape and the national psyche.
So, What are the big lessons from the Mystery Flesh Pit disaster? First, system redundancies matter, but only if they actually work when you need them most.
Second, when you operate inside a living, unpredictable environment, your emergency plans have to account for biological reactions, not just technical ones. It's a whole new kind of risk.
And third, effective crisis communication is crucial. That blackout leaving guests uninformed and panicked turned a bad situation into something far worse.
If you take one action from this, review your own emergency plans, whether you're running a park, a lab, or even a family camping trip. Ask, what happens if every backup fails at once?
That's our deep dive into one of the most unique disasters ever documented. Thanks for exploring the mysteries and the hard-won lessons of the Flesh Pit with us. Stay curious and always check your exit routes.